A lot of recruiters feel they're doing email marketing, but they're not.
No.
What they're doing is just spray and pray. I've got contact details, pretty sure these people are hiring, pretty sure they're looking for a job, and I'm going to ask yes or no right now, buy from me or don't buy from me.
Yeah.
The problem with just doing that is people go, no. If there's an unsubscribe button, they might click on it. If they can't find it, they'll probably click on junk. And being marked as junk is the number one way to kill the reputation of your domain.
Welcome back to another episode of RecTalk. I'm your host, Nitin Sharma, founder of RecTools.io. For those of you who don't know, RecTools is the only whole-of-market directory for the entire recruitment supply chain. So whether you're looking for a new CRM, an applicant tracking system, maybe looking for outsourcing your marketing, maybe looking to bring somebody in to go through an AI optimization project for you, maybe you're looking for note takers, maybe you're looking for anything that might even include how to, consultancies that could maybe improve your email deliverability. Head to RecTools.io. It is free to use, free to register. We don't charge recruiters and recruitment business owners and talent acquisition teams. We don't and never will. That's an important part of it. Some of those suppliers are recommended by me. Those are the suppliers that you will see on this podcast. RecTalk is now officially the largest podcast in the recruitment industry. Thanks to you guys for liking, watching, subscribing, doing all the cool shit that you guys do. My guest today for his second appearance this year is Ben Fielding from Quintet. Ben, first of all, mate, appreciate you making the journey down as always. Those of you who haven't seen Ben's first episode, press pause here now and go back to the original appearance where what we did was talk about email deliverability, DKIM, DMARC, DNS, a whole range of stuff that I don't understand.
Yeah.
That we kind of like the building blocks of like, how do we make sure your emails are actually getting delivered and not being marked as spam. Once you've watched that episode, then come back here, because what we're now going to do is take it sort of to the next level. Because one of the solutions that Ben, you presented the last time you were here was that if your domain strength is weakened or you're being marked as spam historically based on kind of previous stuff that you and the team have been doing, the only way to fix that is to warm up your inbox again, right? By sending emails that people are not going to mark as spam and are actually going to open and interact with, which sounds like a really easy solution, but that's like going, if you're poor, just go and find somewhere where there's gold and go and dig for it. There's got to be strategy, there's got to be an understanding of these things and that kind of thing. So today's episode is about exactly that. When we talk about email marketing, what the hell is it? Ben's in an incredibly fortunate position in that he gets a bird's eye view on a lot of activities that different recruitment agencies and businesses are doing. And dare I say, you see what works and what doesn't work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're all ears today, mate. You give us the hints, the tips, the guides that we need to make sure that our businesses can kind of make it through these times that we're currently in.
Will do.
So I'm going to throw the ball to you, mate. Let's start with email marketing. What is email marketing? To a marketing business, to a recruitment business, and then actually ultimately to the most important person, which is the recipient of that email. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, email marketing is what it's supposed to be. Is people that subscribe to your content or subscribe to a newsletter. They may have bought something from you before. They've been interested in a service, they've been to one of your events, you've got their email address legitimately, they've got an interest in you, and they've ticked that box, so they've double opted in to say, yes, I want to receive emails from you. And then there's your opportunity to advertise, essentially, your wares to your customers, primarily under the guise of something else. So it could be as simple as special offer this week, 20% off candles, whatever it is you subscribe to. Or it could be an email marketing campaign that goes out as how to light your living room to make it look bigger in area, and then off the back of that, there's the candles bit that they're selling. It's very basic kind of explanation, but there's two different types of marketing. There's the special offer, buy it now. I'm here, buy it now. Please buy it now. And then there's the I'm adding value to your life. I'm educating you.
And when you need to buy, you'll come to me.
Yeah. And sometimes that is very, very obvious. Sometimes it's kind of in the subconscious. They feel as though they've got an affiliation with your brand. They makes that your brand, your email, and buying from you makes them feel better, and they want to keep buying more and more of it. And especially if you keep adding value to their lives, past the purchase. So that's what email marketing really is. It's continually keeping your potential customers or existing customers engaged and up to date about what you do, and offering value past the sale or before
The
sale.
thing is, right at the start of that, though, I know there's, and I've noticed this more and more recently, certainly since we spoke and the first time, there are businesses out there who will capture your details and put you into an email marketing campaign without your consent. And it's within the terms and conditions. By you asking for this ebook or by you doing X, Y, and Z, we are going to add you to a database of like our mail shots. And again, people in the recruitment supply chain do this, right?
Yeah.
They'll sign up with me on RecTools and we're working together, and then all of a sudden I'm on their newsletter, and I'm just like, I didn't sign up for this. That leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, And so we took that really seriously actually when we started doing the Recruitment Curry Club. In that we were like, we've got all this information. We need to ask them if they're okay for us in the future, because we're not doing anything with it yet. But in the future, do you want to hear from us about other upcoming events and that kind of thing? And we had a big debate about it, because some of the founders were like, no, you don't ask them, just put them on anyway. Like, put it in the terms and make them by purchasing a ticket, you're letting us know that we can keep in touch with you. And my argument was, yeah, but there are people who don't want to. But equally, there are people who do want to. So surely we want the ones that do want to click the button so that we know these guys are super, super bought in, not just, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have like 5 people that I know want to hear from me than 100 people of which I don't know how many actually want to and how many are just circumstantially in there and therefore are just unsubscribing or marking as spam unbeknownst to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is the challenge with, I suppose, what a lot of recruiters feel they're doing email marketing, but they're not.
No.
What they're doing is they're doing what we talked about before, right? Just spray and pray. I've got contact details. Pretty sure these people are hiring. Pretty sure they're looking for a job. I'm going to tell them and I'm going to ask you, like, yes or no right now, buy from me or don't buy from me.
Yeah.
Are you hiring? Are you looking for a job? The problem with just doing that is people go, no. If there's an unsubscribe button, they might click on it. If they can't find it, they'll probably click on junk. And being marked as junk, as we said last time, is the number one way to kill the reputation of your domain. Because the platforms out there are looking, and these algorithms are looking for data to try and rank you and rate you. Other than
and
your
just to clarify though, when you're marked as junk, it's not just to that recipient, is it? It then goes against you. So there's a good chance that actually, if you send it out to 100 people and all 100 of those people mark you as junk, that the next 100 that you send it to, you're automatically just going to be filtered into junk.
Yeah, and you might just have a bad day, right? You might have sent to 100 people, 100 people marked you as spam, but the next time you sent 100 people, 100 emails, no one's marked you as spam. So, Google, Microsoft, Barracuda, long list of email filtering solutions, Mimecast, all the others. They're looking at this data and they're understanding how to react to it. So all we need to do is try and minimise the amount of people that are going to mark you as spam.
Yeah.
Even if you had 1,000 customers who bought from you every single month, and every time you sent an email, every single one of them bought something because they got that email, already guarantee you at 1 month in that year, even with that super hot list, one of them will mark you as spam because they go, I don't want these anymore, or they forgot, or they just weren't having a bad day, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
So there's always a little bit of wiggle room, is what I'm getting to say, some people will mark you as spam, and that's okay. They're just too lazy to hit the unsubscribe button. And one of the things they've been trying to make life easier for people is to embed the unsubscribe feature within the actual structure of the email, so people can see it at the top, so it sits in the header. It's called a list unsubscribe header. That's great, right? You'd rather someone unsubscribe than mark you as spam. But coming back to the difference between proper email marketing and what a lot of recruiters do is it's not just about people wanting these emails. It's actually a lot of these email marketing, or these marketing emails, are trying to add value. They're trying to disguise the sale by adding value. And that's fine, because if you want the free stuff and you just want the top 5 tips to making your living room feel bigger, or whatever I said earlier on, or you want that download PDF thing, or you want to read that blog, or actually I'm going to go check out that podcast because they've been, by brushing up against someone else, they're saying, look at these really successful people that we're friends with, and go and check out that podcast because we might be on it. And that's absolutely fine. That's what you were trying to achieve. But a lot of recruiters don't do any of that. They just go.
It's purely just the sale, isn't it? Yeah. Are you hiring? Are you hiring? Or here's a load of jobs I'm working on. Are you suitable for them? Yeah. It's sort of used as kind of It's a mechanism to contact as many people as possible in the most efficient, or what sounds like the most efficient way.
Yeah, it's called what we have called this for 25 years is called spamming.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to avoid looking like, trying to look like spammers. So
yeah, and look, there's only one surefire way to not look like you're spamming, and that's by not spamming, right?
Well, yeah. And well, there's the disguise spamming. So I've got quite a few agencies that I work with who have built up over time a presence. Their brand is present in their target market. Other recruiters probably don't know who they are. It doesn't care to them. They're not selling to recruiters. But their target audience, their brand is known. They might have sponsored something. They've had did a talk at an expo. They've done a webinar. They've whatever it's going to be. Right, the brand is out.
Put together, something or another, some sort of roundtable or webinar themselves. Yeah.
So the brand's out and present, and then they go, "Well, I've got these people's email addresses. So that's stuff I did, but I've also got another bunch of email addresses. Same target audience, lookalikes of the people that come." I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard of you guys. I've heard of them." And some people might even go, "Yeah, I'll probably sign up for that. Sounds like something I'd sign up for." And I go, "Oh, that's quite interesting." Then they click on the link and they go through to read the whatever, and then you've got them. Well, you're definitely on my list now because you're now engaged in what I'm doing. But it's the who the hell are you fix, essentially, from hitting that 10,000 spray and pray mail shot. That email lands. It's past your SPF, DKIMs, DMARCs, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
All got past the spam filters, hit the inbox, it's there, it's got a lovely emotive kind of subject line that draws people in, and then it hits the customer's pain point. Oh, that's exactly my problem, that really is. And actually I'm not hiring right now. Who are these guys anyway? I don't know who you are. No. But if you could have, not quite got the messaging right, but if they know the brand, they'll read it.
Yeah.
And they'll read further down.
Yeah.
If I got an email from I'm trying to think in the IT world, if I got an email from Power DMARC, right, DMARC provider, I would read it because it's relevant to me. I know the brand.
Might be something they're updating you on, something that's going on that you've maybe missed. Yeah.
Oh, I'd be all over it. Like you might not know this about your industry, but this is about to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been working with some recruiters with recently is how do you? It might be a little bit echo chambery. What are other people talking about in your customer's industry that you could at least put a slight little turn on? Did you realise how this could affect your hiring capabilities, or might be an uplift in hiring next year, or you might find your competitors are growing? We can see from the stats here, and it's all because of some policy change, industry, new technology, borders shift, unrest in a country. But sharing your insights as a business, adding value and going, look, we get your industry. We're in this with you. And people go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's an interesting take on that. And try and get people kind of drawn in that way. Some of the simplest ways are, I get this a lot, recruiters saying, look, if you're hiring, it might be your target industry is a business of a certain size. They might not have hired a lot. So how do you share hiring tips and interview tips and how to write a great job description?
What a great way to boost not just personal but also business brand, right? Yeah. You don't need to use an agency all the time. Well, we accept that and we're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
But that's fine. But actually, here's some new interview techniques that are going on right now. Or have you noticed that, you're conducting interviews like you did 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but the candidates that you're interviewing now are either struggling to answer these questions or just don't seem very engaged in the process. And when you're offering them the job, they're not jumping at the opportunity. Yeah. Wow, here's some insights into what's currently going on in, do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's so much you can do. I guess fundamentally what it comes down to is, do you consider recruitment to be a sales job?
There's a sales function, obviously, within recruitment.
There's a sales function in your job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in your business. And all the businesses you've ever run and worked in, right?
Yeah, and I was told every person in a business is in sales, right? Anytime you open your mouth and you mention your company name, it's an opportunity to promote it. But essentially, the core of it, I believe, recruitment is a marketing business, right? You have got to take, people out there might be agreeing with this, you might take a job that probably doesn't sound very exciting and make it sound exciting. Yeah. That is... there's marketing skills in there.
Look, there's sales skills in there too, right? But so my angle with this has always been, since I've kind of started thinking more about this, recruitment is a professional service. in the same way that an accountancy firm is a professional service and a law firm is a professional service, right? You could send your own cease and desist letter. You don't, because you might fuck it up. And you go to a professional, because, listen, I could do this myself, but I might fuck it up.
Can't get it wrong.
You could do your own VAT return, but you don't, because you might fuck it up. So you go to the professional that knows what they're doing. Now, if that professional you go to, so your accountant starts chatting to you and they go, oh, hang on a minute, you're building a little bit of tech here and this, that and the other. There's an R&D tax claim here that you could potentially be liable for, or it might be available to you. I'm going to introduce you to our R&D tax partners. Now, they've got a commercial agreement with that. They're making a kickback and a commission on that.
Yeah.
Right? And they've sold you that. But you haven't felt like you've been sold to, because they presented you with a solution to a problem that you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
Right? In exactly the same way, then, if a recruitment business is operating as a professional service, says, listen, this is what we do. You know? We speak to candidates all day long. We deal with counter offers all the time.
Yeah.
We deal with how people hand notices in all the time. Yeah, I think the biggest one right now that agencies are sleeping on, it pisses me off that when I go to sort of team regional meetings or TRN webinars and stuff like that, they're like, I always light up like, oh, I didn't think of that. The Employment Rights Bill.
Yeah.
That is a fundamental shift in so many different aspects of employment, right? The majority of UK businesses are SMBs. The majority of UK recruitment businesses deal with SMBs. They don't have in-house HR people all the time. They certainly don't have a big HR team with a law firm attached that's letting them know about these things all the time, right? There are enough of those. And again, the Employment Rights Bill is so vast that they're not looking at it from a recruitment standpoint. They're looking at it from the perspective of running their business standpoint. So why don't you go in and offer them solutions or upskill them or make them aware of things? Hey, there's not going to be any probation periods. Right, that's going to be, gone. But you could take them temp to perm. I didn't think of that.
And this becomes, with email marketing and what you're trying to do essentially. If you're giving lots of stuff away for free and you're sending out email
bingo
updates, information, value add, it's the top of funnel stuff. And how do I get people engaged? And then maybe down from that, you might run a webinar or a roundtable event or an invite type situation, and then you might partner up with an HR specialist because there's some in it for them.
Exactly, right. And there's loads of those around.
Yeah, you can spread your costs of running these events and get people in and get.
And again, how does an accountancy practice make additional lines of revenue, right? Oh, we're going to refer R&D tax claims. So our customers that look like they could get an R&D tax claim and be eligible for it, we're going to refer them over to our partners, and our partners are going to give us a kickback or some sort of split deal, right? So if you're then talking and working with a HR consultancy who, hey, are very, very good at HR, but aren't necessarily good at business development. And guess what you're good at, Mr. Recruiter?
Yeah.
Mr. Recruitment Business that's sat there with 7 members of staff that are not doing anything or not doing much right now. Get them doing business development for them. Hey, listen, we're going to run this webinar, and then any work that comes off the back of that, that's a kickback your way for your business. It's a line of revenue you're bringing into your business.
And it's that rubbing shoulders bit with other people who are, especially if you can pick, let's pick an industry, right? I don't know. So AI software developers in Norway. Right?
Yeah.
Super niche. I'm sure there's a recruiter watching today. He's like, hey, that's my market. Yeah. They're talking about me. AI Norway Recruitment Limited, whatever your name is. So who's famous in AI in Norway?
Yeah.
Right? How do I invite them to promote themselves? And they'll probably do it for free.
Of course they will. Yeah.
We're going to run, online webinar, roundtable, whatever. Come along and do a talk. I'm going to promote that talk, and you might get a co-sponsorship from HR company, wherever else it might be.
Yeah.
And then come along and promote that. Hi, we're here to talk about this big topic at the moment. You get people sign up, and then that, as you know from the podcast, you got chunks after chunks after chunks of content.
Yeah.
Blogs for your website, LinkedIn newsletters, stuff you can get out on email.
Stuff you can move on to email marketing.
Yeah, and just
You're trying to find a reason to email these people. You've recorded an hour-long webinar on an important change or something happening in the industry that you specialise in, and you've got over 1,000 contacts on your database that this could be relevant to. I'm sure they're more likely to want to click and watch, read, learn about that conversation than they will, oh, I see you're hiring for a X, Y, and Z, and here's a candidate that I'm working with. It's perfect for your business. You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about my business, but you know we're a perfect candidate, do you?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a brilliant tactic my friend Jane at Wildcat Careers took on. So from a content perspective, she goes, do you know what? I'm going to teach people what good recruitment is. I'm going to educate my audience, and this comes from, there's a lot of great books about this. Educate your audience to do this themselves.
Yeah.
But then they'll realise how hard and time consuming it is to get it right, and they'll come back to you anyway.
Absolutely.
So how to stop people leaving, how to create a great culture, how to retain staff, how to attract the right talent, how to promote your business to attract the best talent, how to get referrals from people for staff. And hold on, you're selling your recruitment services, I know, but I'm going to get people to qualify themselves in to work with me.
That's it.
And they feel like they already know the business. They feel like they already know how we work. They value what we've given out.
Because you've looked at your value proposition, you've broken it down, and you've gone, listen, there's no secrets here. I'm going to tell you exactly what I do, and that information will sell. You're going to sell it to yourself. I shouldn't be selling what I do. I had this conversation not long ago, right, about, again, the psychology of how sort of people buy and the psychology of sales. Because I was like, we equip recruiters with these little, sort of the old sales folders, presentation type of stuff, right? Go out and pitch to this, and go and pitch to the client, And like, we know outside of this world, think about how you buy. Think about the last thing you've recently bought a new place, right? So this will resonate with you more than the sort of more recently, certainly. People buy based on an emotion, and then they justify that emotion with the facts, not the other way around. You didn't go, right, here's my budget. I want the council tax to be this much. I'm looking for a house that's got bills that are worth this much. It's got to have this many bedrooms. It's got to have this, got to have this, got to have this, got to have this. Here's my requirement, my spec sheet that I want, right? Now let me narrow down my search, and I will go with the most logical solution. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive. It's got to be close to this school, closer. And so geographically and all things considered, that is the only house on the market that I'm going to go with right now. No, you went through and you went, it's a bit more than what I wanted to spend. Or it's got a bit more work than what I wanted to do on it.
Yeah.
But it has got this, it has got that.
Yeah.
It's got a basement. I've always wanted a basement. I can have a fucking man cave. It floods though. That's fine. I can get it fixed. Do you know what I mean? You justify that emotional decision with the facts, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And so we've got to, as recruiters, understand that better so that we can employ that into our email marketing. Because that's what you should be doing, is trying to find that emotion. What's the reason that this person will want to read this email? What's going on in their world right now? Yeah. What's going on in that market right now where they're going to look at this and go, fuck yeah, we're in that boat.
It's really hard though, and it starts for, kind of outside of email, looking at people's websites. When you go on the landing page of the websites, what is the problem you solve?
Yeah.
Do you talk to your audience? I was speaking to an agency recently, and they said, we really don't like the website that this company designed. It's taken ages to get to what we want. And I said, well, what was their argument for what they made? They said, well, they said this would really resonate with our customers. I said, well, did you agree? I'm like, well, yeah, to a degree, but we just didn't really like it. And I said, well, who cares what you like?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's not for you.
It's
for your customers.
That's it.
The messaging doesn't need to be, we are a recruitment agency. If anything, that can go against you nowadays, especially in emails.
Too right, yeah.
I challenged people this week, 3 companies this week, last week. I said, try and send some emails and do not use the words recruitment, talent, hiring, or CV.
Oh,
they're like, what am I going to
email?
I've got nothing to talk about now.
Yeah.
And I said, well, but what's the problem you solve?
Yeah.
Right? You understand what's going on in the industry right now. It's really hard finding the right people to help drive their business forward. Yeah. This is the challenge, right? Or spell out the problem and they go, that's me, that's the problem I've got. Well, we can help. We can absolutely help. And maybe if you want a bit of social proof in there, you might be quite similar to someone we're working with at the moment. They were here, had this problem. This wasn't working. We've helped them achieve this. Would you interested in hearing the same?
There's a science behind it, right? We call that social proof. There's storytelling. Apple didn't sell... the iPod was not an MP3 player. It was 1,000 songs in your pocket. That was their marketing of the product.
Yeah.
They didn't use the word MP3 player once. Right? And there's little things like that. But and that example applies across the board with loads of different things, where it's sort of, people aren't looking for the technical response to like, well, what do you do? What problem do you solve? Oh, we at Cost will headhunt the best candidate for you. No. They want to know in a storyteller form, what is it you do? It's the old one of the US presidents goes to NASA, shaking hands with all these different people, asks the janitor, what do you do? I help put a man on the moon.
Yeah. He's playing his part, right? Yeah.
That's it.
That's the ultimate goal of what they're trying to achieve.
Exactly. Yeah. So incorporate that into whatever market you're in. Incorporate that. What is the goal of your clients? Incorporate that into the psyche of what it is you do as a business.
Yeah. It's really challenging. I remember first IT company, working with a marketing guy, and he said, so what's the value you add to your clients? I said, we sell this and we sell that and we make sure this. And no. And it took us an hour. Yeah. And eventually we got to us. I blurted it out. I was like, I don't know. They just don't have to worry about IT anymore. I said, there you go.
Bingo, that's it. There you go, yeah.
Because they do worry about IT.
That speaks to them more, right? Because we with yours, I remember, so tell me what exactly do Quinset do and stuff. And you went, I'll make sure your emails go into where you want them to go. Simple.
Yeah.
I get it.
Hit the inbox.
I get it. Yeah. Right now, people's emails are going where they don't want to go. Through a whole range of services and a whole range of different shit that I do, and all the years of knowledge and experience, in its simplest form, this is what I do. When people ask me, I say, what's your business? Oh, I've got podcasts and RecTools, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what is all of that? I help brands within the recruitment industry get eyes on them from their ICP. That's it. That's my place. That's what I do.
Yeah.
There's all these different things that we do, but that's what we do. Yeah. And it is easy to turn your mindset to that. But I think you've got to switch off that sales business attitude. And I think that's sort of top down. So how are you finding, how receptive are recruitment business owners that you're dealing with at the minute? And are they now starting to cotton on to the fact that, okay, it's not working anymore? Because, off camera, you mentioned, right, you've got people going, well, 2 years ago I used to send these emails and I used to get 4 jobs back in, and now I'm not getting any.
Yeah. The challenge is recruiters are not the only people. The cat's out of the bag, right? All the tools that recruiters use, they're being incredibly successful. So there's more of them coming to market, and they're advertising to more than just recruiters because their target audience of recruiters is not what it was a couple of years ago. They're targeting other people. So all the tools to go and buy data, scrape data, email marketing automation, probably everyone's noticed. Your inbox is just getting more and more stuff in it. You're like, damn it, this was ours. Now other people are doing it. Essentially, people are getting wiser to this. They're getting a bit tired of the same, hey, I can see you've got a problem with this. I fixed that. Would you like to look at your SEO, Google Ads, recruitment? You're all getting lumped up into the same bucket. So how do you stand out? You might be sending 10,000 emails every day, every week, whatever it is. And you were doing that 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. It's working. And the numbers are dropping. Yes, there's less vacancies out there at the moment. I get that. But there's a number of issues with that 10,000 list. How right is that list? Yeah. How relevant are those people? How tailored is the content? And what are you actually asking? Because if you're asking someone if they're hiring right now, there's a very good chance that on that given day, the answer is no. And that's the end of the conversation.
That's it. Yeah, you've asked the closed question. You got a closed response.
That's not the response. What I've always said is with kids, never ask them a question where there's one answer you don't want. Right? Frame the question slightly differently to steer things in the way that you do want. Are you going to be hiring this year? There you go. Straight away, that's open up. Have you thought about X, Y, Z? We've got a great whatever. Go and check it out now. If you want to have a chat about it, but whatever it is you want to do, but just broaden out. Oh, do you know what it would be? I saw one a little while ago a recruiter was doing was, are you shit at interviewing? And they sent this out to 5,000 people and they got 600-700 people download a guide off their website. They've now got a bunch of people that are worried about their interview skills. Why are they worried about their interview skills right now? They're either currently hiring or thinking about hiring, or they're going to be moving up into management and they're going to be hiring next year. Yeah. Brilliant. Right. You're not ready right now, but you might be. Let me just keep warm. Let me just keep you going.
You've created a much hotter list of pipeline, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But again, the sort of the extension from that there is then you've you know, you've got these people who are obviously, they're worried about interviewing and all that sort of stuff. As a sales business, you're going to then try and sell them a recruitment service, right? 500 people have said, yes, I think I'm interviewing, let me download this guide. That means there's potentially 500 vacancies in there, so let's go and get them on. A professional service, and this is the angle that I'm pushing for, and this is the stuff that I'm doing talks with TRN and team about, is productize that. Hey, you downloaded that. Did you find that useful? Brilliant. Okay. Do you want us to do some side-by-side coaching, training? Do you want us to spend, when you're next interviewing, or I'm assuming you're recruiting right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, you might not be, but if you're recruiting now or in the future, we're a local firm to you, or we're in this space or whatever.
Yeah.
Why don't we send one of our guys out to sit in the interview with you, do your notes and stuff on your behalf, so you can focus on delivering the interview, and maybe ask a follow-up question or two that you didn't think of, so that you get the best out of that candidate in that process. For that, I can send a consultant out and their day rate is £850 for the day. That consultant who's currently sat there, you're shouting at them because they're not picking up the phones and they're getting told to fuck off by gatekeepers and all the rest of it, has now made you £850. Yeah. And they've had a good day as well because they've managed to build this firm relationship with this client. And now that client might go, yeah, do you know what, we got it from here, but thank you so much for that. What else do you do?
Yeah.
We can do your onboarding. And we can do your background checks for you. Again, email marketing. Your inbox is warm now. These guys are engaged with you. Hey, have you had people at offer stage pull out? Do you have candidates show concern about this? Do you need to do background checks? Here's some tips and hints about that. Send that out as a lead magnet, and then productize that. Hey, do you want us to do the background checks for you?
Yeah.
Because right now you're sat around doing fuck all.
Yeah, one of the ones we chatted to two recruitment agencies. This came up in a slightly different way. But I was quite interested in the concept of, does every person you interviewed want to work for you? Mm-hmm. Are they all gutted when they don't get the offer? Are they all feeding back to whoever it is that's dealing with the recruitment going, I love them, I want to work for them, make it happen? Because if they're not, you might want to fix that.
Yeah.
Because you might have interviewed 10 people, 9 of them were okay, 1 of them was great, these 9 want to work for you, they don't. But what was it about you as a business? So how do you create a more compelling interview process? Mm-hmm. How do you, I talked earlier on, how do you get people excited about your brand?
Thinking again about productization, you could productize just that. Yeah. You do the interviews, Ben. They're your candidates. Listen, we're good at this sort of stuff, though. If you want, I can ring them and get their feedback.
Yeah.
Take me a couple of hours. I'll send you an invoice for my time or whatever. It's £300. But I'll ring them up and I'll find out what they liked about the process, what they didn't like about the process, what their impressions were of the business, of you, of confidence in leadership team, that kind of thing. So before you make your decision as to who you want to move to the next stage, you've got all the facts. Because the last thing you want to do is move 2 people to second stage, and actually the 2 that were really, really interested in working for you, you didn't even consider because you liked these 2 more, but they're not even interested, and they're ranking you maybe second or third best opportunity in what they've got on the table right now.
Yeah. And it like I say, if you can change the way you engage your clients, and it might not be what you want to do forever. And there's some recruiters out there at the moment that are doing, because there's not many jobs and a lot of candidates, a lot of people doing CV writing services and helping them with LinkedIn profiles. There's lots of stuff I've seen people get involved in. Like, I really didn't want to be this business. That's okay, right? You're just this business right now, and you're just keeping the brand alive. You're keeping it out in front of people. These people will remember everything you do. And maybe you just want to work at people who are aspiring managers. So promote stuff around aspiring managers on LinkedIn and offer a £99 service to do X, Y, Z, whatever it might be. But just keep that brand alive and keep that brand present. Back to your question earlier on around, so what's the kind of appetite for people to look at marketing their business, getting their brand known and going for value-based marketing campaigns rather than asking for stuff? It's a mixed bag. Only because people are scared by it. And I would say people don't try and do everything. Right? Yes, the goal would be that you're running this and doing this, and this is what one day looks like. But let's just kind of backcast from there to where you are today. What's the next thing you can do to get yourself a step in that direction? Is it, first off, we're just going to get out some kind of newsletter to our hottest people on our database, people that we're working with right now or have worked with this year and focus on value. And the next one on from that, you're going to create a reason to email them and actually run some kind of event or a webinar or have a PDF, whatever it might be, and just start working it up. Because once you get into it, it's quite addictive.
Yeah.
And the bit that puts people off, I always say that, I can't remember where I heard this many years ago, but the decisions you make about marketing today, depending on the type of business, you won't feel the up or downside of that decision for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So trying to equate effort to results is quite difficult. The problem is if you just choose to do nothing, I can guarantee you what's going to be happening in 6 months. Nothing. So at least make the wrong decision now, but make a decision, do something, take some action.
Yeah, this is you're absolutely right that people are kind of like, well, I'd love to move to that model, but I need the revenue today. I need to I need it now, and it's sort of like, but it's not coming. What you're doing isn't working. It's not yielding results. So why would you not then go? It's that sort of sunken cost fallacy, isn't it? Of like, well, I've done all of this, and it's all this effort would go to waste if I just stop now. Because it's almost like there's this like false belief that just over the horizon the market's going to change, and I'm going to move my business to this professional services model, and I'm going to move my business model to a marketing focused, value driven proposition, and by the time I do that, the market's going to have shifted again. Everyone's going to be hiring again, and all my competitors who carried on running sales businesses are going to be making like tons of cash, and I'm going to be left having took the wrong turn. And that fear factor, I think, is really real. But I'm kind of like, but surely the other side of that is, imagine not being the business that pivoted, and what everyone else then, or not everyone else, but most others started going, oh right, yeah, I'm going to go down the value route and actually enjoy what we do for a living, and really get involved in some cool, interesting projects rather than just sit and cold call all day long. And then it starts working for them, and you're sat there going, shit, I could have done that, I chose not to.
Inaction or indecision is the hardest bit. I mean,
but you must see that in what you do though, right? Because you're going to tell people, look, I get it. You used to send 1,000 emails in one go, you used to pick up 10 vacancies. Great, good for you. It's not going to happen anymore, but actually, more importantly, your email address and your domain strength and like quality is going to be fucking diminished. Yeah. So actually now it's causing you more damage than, it's not just, I'm not picking up anything. It's, you're not picking up anything and you're going to be penalised. But you probably still have people push back with that, right? And be like, I get what you're saying, Ben, but no, I need to send 1,000 out, because if I don't, then it might not happen for me.
You need to make a decision as a business, don't you? I've got assets here, right? I've got tools I'm paying for, and I'm locked in for a contract. I've got a database of people here. I can't not try this. And I'm not saying people should just stop doing it and go, it's fine, completely change tact as a business, and away we go. Yes, you can still do this, but you need to do it as smart as you can. You need to categorize the data better. You need to target your data better. You need to think about your messaging. You need to not go for the kill on day one, right? I mean, it's. I think my dad, in his generation past me way, said, "Yeah, I mean, you don't ask for a first date, do you?" I said, "Well, some people do." I said, "Yeah, but what's the hit rate like? Really, really low."
Do you know, maybe that? Do you know? No, there's a lot of sense in that, because maybe the reason that we're like that is because we're in a world where, if I want a takeaway, I can order it. If I want a hookup, I can just swipe this way, that way, and I'll land on my end result. Do you know what I mean? We're in such a handful of clicks and I've got the result I wanted world, that maybe that's the thing that we're trying to convince ourselves exists in this industry, but it doesn't, because we're in a people-based industry where it's people's careers, it's their livelihood, it's their only way of people go to work to earn an income to pay their bills and maintain a lifestyle. It's not the sort of thing that they're going to be like, oh, go on then, I'll go to that interview even though I'm happy in my current job, or oh, go on then, I'll give you this vacancy that is an important hire for my business, but you just happen to message me on the right day at the right time. It doesn't happen, or it's certainly happening less and less. But maybe that there's something in that because I agree, you wouldn't like go for the at best you'd probably lean in for a kiss after the first date, whereas are we doing it the wrong? I don't know.
And there's a big psychology shift as well. I said we talked earlier on about people just getting a little bit tired of noise in their inbox. And it used to be actual spam. I'm getting quite obvious spammy emails selling me stuff I don't need, but some people might say I do need it, but I don't think I need it. And then you're also got people getting tired of, they're not getting tired of, how do I put this? People are getting tired of messages being forced upon them that they're not wanting. People are privacy smart now. So that, hey, my personal space is being invaded because who the hell are you? And the inbox is kind of like the last bastion of push through someone's front door.
Yeah.
I mean, you can even get yourself a sign on your front door, and the postman shouldn't put so much junk mail through your front door.
Does it anyway?
It doesn't work at my house. But you can go and complain to someone. Right, you can go and do something about it.
You can't do anything with it.
It's always that your email address is out there. Your email address is out there. So the only thing people can do is choose to take action by marking you as spam, maybe reporting you as spam if something were to happen. At least you're going to go into the spam folder. If they're in a company, they go to their IT department and go, block these guys. They're really annoying because I'm getting no value from what they're sending me.
You're not giving me any value. Yeah,
they're probably not saying it out loud, but in their head, they're like, I am zero value from this. It's actually it's bordering on harassment.
It's ticking me off now. Yeah, this isn't even. Yeah, this is now, and it's funny you use that word because I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago as well. The tech vendors in our space at the moment, and not just in our space, but that are supplying into our space, all the automation stuff, the email, using things like AI. It is harassment as a service, is what we're selling. And if we feel that way about the guys and girls that supply into us, how do we think that our clients are probably feeling about us that supply into them, right? As you say, there's no value in that. You're harassing me from all angles.
It can be harassment with the wrong message. So Waterloo, a couple of weeks ago, big brand there, some drinks thing, I can't remember who it was. They're not standing there saying, buy this can of drink, buy this can of drink, buy this can of drink. What they're going is like, have a free sample. Have a free sample. Why don't you try this? It's not going to cost you anything. Why don't you try this and get a free whatever? They're literally giving stuff away to make people go, oh, that's interesting. And yes, the hit rate, the response rate might be low, and you're not going to buy it there and then because they're not being told to. They're not asking for email address. They literally just know the brand. Know the brand, know the brand, know the brand. There'll be a step up from that where there'll be some events which is, hey, have a free sample and we'll ship you a free pack case or something. Just fill this form in, or maybe win a prize. Come in and put your Expo one business card, scan your badge, right, and maybe win something. Great, I've got your details now. But if people have shown an appetite for something and they're interested in it, they might continue to get content from you. But what you don't want to do with the free drink is keep saying, it's in the shops now, buy it now, buy it now, buy it now.
Yeah.
You got a good drink.
I'll come with you, let's go.
A good new drinks brand now is going to be talking about like lifestyle and organic this and whatever it is that's going to make you feel great about buying the product. So they'll talk to you about and they'll talk to you about other stuff because they're going to try and sing to people that this is my target audience. They're also really conscious about what we're doing to the planet, really conscious about what they put in their body. So I'm going to talk more about the planet and more about what you can do to make your body healthy. And maybe if I've got somebody who's really famous right now, I'm going to do something with them and we're going to get their face in, right? This is... People have been marketing like this, advertising like this, since the 60s.
I think our industry needs to take notes with this sort of stuff. I always say we need to look outside the industry, see what works and bring that in, right? And I think a really good place to start for a lot of recruitment businesses that maybe feel like they've lost their way or don't really know what their value proposition is to go back to their client base or prospect client base and that list of the data that they've got, and through things like email marketing and through things like telephone, cold calls and stuff, re-establish what their pain points are. Don't sell, right? Don't pick up the phone and be like, yeah, we're a recruitment agency, we won't sell. No, just be open and honest. Listen, we feel like we've lost our way a little bit, right? We've been so focused on just filling jobs, picking up jobs, filling jobs. We don't really understand our client base. We don't know what your pain point. What are you struggling with? We have a lot of access to a lot of information, and a lot of your competitors, and a lot of like silo businesses that probably complement what you're doing and stuff. We're sat on all this data and information. We're just not doing anything with it. What do you need? If an agency rang your consultancy, because I want to stop using the word agency because I think language plays a part. But if a consultancy rang you tomorrow, and rather than pitching you a vacancy or a temp or whatever, we're just like, Ben, what are your pain points? What are the things that you're struggling with? So that when I do email you with something, it's actually something that's valuable to you. or when I do invite you to something, it's something that you're going to be tempted to want to go to.
Yeah.
Are you more or less likely to answer that and like engage in that conversation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that keep ringing in my head as we're talking through that. Was know your customer, know your target audience. Now, you might be a regional recruiter, right? You might be, say hi to Joseph Edney. You might be based in Oxford and you're targeting a specific area in Oxford, a number of businesses around there. Be present, right?
Yeah.
Be involved, run events, get engaged with people who are respected, give them opportunity to talk on your platform next to your brand.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of businesses that do this, but not everyone thinks about it automatically. So I had half a dozen conversations with recruiters at the Recruitment Agency Expo, and they talked about, well, I niche in this particular industry, and I just need to be where they are, understand, and 4 of the 6 of them, I was like, well, hold on a minute. There's expos on like this week here for your target industry. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you not there? Because you could be in there listening to those seminars, talking to people there, understanding the pain points. You don't have to tell anyone from a recruitment agency if you don't want to.
Shaking hands with and meeting people who can open doors for you or can make introductions happen for you, or you can go, hey, shall we jump on a webinar? That's really insightful. I love that talk. Can we jump on a webinar? Because actually, I think my prospect client list or my LinkedIn connections would like to hear that.
Yeah,
that was great. Can we connect? Can we do something? It's the butterfly effect, isn't it? Of little tiny things that will lead you to, and then before you know it, you're in a new room with new people. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, people go back to the comfort zone. Well, the Recruitment Agency Expo's on. I better go along and listen to some of the talks. Oh, they're all about AI, and they're all the majority of them are about AI, and the ones that aren't are about sales. And sales and business development are 2 different things. So it's sort of like you talk about an echo chamber earlier. It's what that is, right? If you're going there for answers, listen, if you go into the Recruitment Agency Expo to find new suppliers, to listen to people and share your opinions and just network and be like, I'm going to treat myself to a day out today, by all means. But like you say, if you know that there's stuff in your industry going on and your niche going on,
be there.
Why are you not there as well?
Yeah. And it gives you something to talk about, even if you can't go. So a recruiter I've just started working with, there's a Matt, they said, and what he said was, I just need to actually make this happen, Ben. So I'm going to go to Germany. There's this massive thing going on in Hanover for a couple of days. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to email a bunch of people that I know are probably going to be at this event, or at least their offices are near the event. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm here. I'm really excited about this. I'm really looking forward to this talk. Absolutely fantastic. If you're around, I've got a few hours. I'm just connecting with a few clients, and I've got some space. So if you'd like to meet up and talk about like any of the learnings from the expo, or you want to talk about that thing they might have talked about before,
whatever.
Insert the blanks here. And was like, I'm going to go for it. And I booked the ticket, I booked the hotel. I'm just going to go and see what happens. And if I don't get my slots booked up from that email marketing, I will just go and find people to talk to. And that, I think, to a lot of recruiters now, I think for I don't know what percentage, but there's a fair percentage of people that would scare them.
Yeah.
The thought of going and being in, not in their world, they're in their customer's world, and being like, I don't really understand what my customers do, right? I get it enough to talk about it, and I can see through a CV, but I can't do what they do, and it's, well, that's fine, right? I can't recruit.
No.
I'll still go and have conversations with people and understand the pain points.
But those people, you get an opportunity to talk to them about the things that you can do that they can't do, right?
Yeah.
Like interviewing, like tests that you can run, or I don't know, tech that's out there that you guys leverage as a business to do your jobs better. Most people will always learn something from somebody else if you just start a conversation, right? And it's just not a one-way street. These guys will learn from you as well, and they'll see you then as a thought leader and as somebody worth talking to.
Yeah, that connecting people as well. That you can get really swept up in it, kind of a bit all-encompassing. But I've definitely had a few stages through the last decade where I've gone, I'm just going to try and add a lot of value to my clients and prospective clients by making introductions, talking. Oh, you need someone up? Let me set up a call. Let me introduce you to Dave or Jane or whoever it is, and then it might be a year, 2 years later when they're ready to buy something from me. But the conversations get going because all of a sudden I'm not a supplier, and I'm not a customer. I'm a trusted connection, and then it might even kind of float into more. Actually, we're quite good mates now. Because they've come to me, oh, do you know what? You know, we introduced Dave and Jane. What about, do you know anyone? Yeah, I do, actually, yeah. And by the time they need you, it's, oh, by the way, I need that thing from you, sign me up.
And saying, oh, Ben, do you know anyone? Right? You know you've surpassed a supplier relationship and you are somebody they trust enough to go, I want your opinion, I need your insight, I need an introduction from you.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. As recruiters, we don't do any of that. We should be doing that.
Yeah.
Easily, you can create that strong personal and business brand within your niche and space by just doing that.
Yeah, and that's the. Well, my dad always said I'll end up in technical sales, which said no, techie through and through, and I kind of ended up, that being my career for quite a number of years. My dad had his contacts book in a specific air-to-ground satellite communication, like telemetry systems, super niche. There's like 6 people in the world who did actually what my dad did. And if there's a job vacancy, they'd all get a phone call. But he kind of knew everyone within all these different like defence relationships and tech and ministries of whatever, and then whether it was Australia or Japan or Australia, or America, whatever. And there would be Richard might know. Yeah, who do you know? Oh yeah, we met him at that event in Vegas last year. The company did this, and he would just connect people.
Yeah.
And then anytime there's an opportunity to do business or a new job came up, my dad would get a phone call. Because he said, I never sold anything to anyone. I just helped people.
Because people feel obligated to return the favour.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You build, I call it paying into an emotional bank account.
Yeah.
You pay in, and eventually you're then able to withdraw without it going overdrawn.
Yeah.
That's how it works. That's how life works. Recruitment and our recruitment businesses are no different to everyday life. We just have this thing, and I think the fundamental reason is that we treat it as a sales business, and because it's a sales business, it needs a sales engine, and it needs a Wolf of Wall Street style, bullpen where everyone's slamming the phones and you're trying to sell, and we want to finish the day through, a day's hard work is 50 outbound calls a day, that kind of thing. And I think we've ruined actually the culture within the industry, which is connecting people, introductions, providing value, significant value, so that you lay out enough favours for enough people that they start bringing them back into you, and you're just sitting there collecting chits all day long.
Yeah, I think
picked up jobs from this client. Who are they? Well, I did something for this guy, and that person knows this person. They play golf together, and he's like, I need a recruiter, and I got a job come through.
Yeah, there's I can see how a recruitment agency could have, even if that was one of their core values as a business, is it's being that super connected kind of value focused individuals within a business. I mean, there's obviously a risk to that. People move on and clients probably go with them, but that's just the nature of the sales game, isn't it? And then things just got crazy in a lot of sectors for a couple of years, right? Couldn't keep up with demand, so actually you end up just delivering product and forgetting about the other stuff. So it might be some people that have just let that slide and
forgot how to actually
right, we're going to do that again, or they just become invisible, they might, or less visible. I think there's an opportunity when things are tight. So many salespeople have said to me over the years, and what I thought were quite boring traditional salespeople, they never really seem to be excitable. I love recruitment. You walk into a floor of recruitment agency, there's buzz, there's energy, there's vibe going on. I love it. And there's some salespeople where, God, they're really not what I thought salespeople were. And when things were quiet, they just chatted to people. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you're right. Oh, I saw so-and-so the other day. Oh, I saw another thing. Oh, that's really great. Love, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we'll catch up soon. It was just say hi, really, and then they're gone. Didn't talk about business.
Stay on your radar.
Didn't talk about sales. They were just... And if they could find some way of adding value, saying, hey, I saw on LinkedIn you said that. I know a guy.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd give you a quick shout, say hi anyway. But yeah, if you want a number, let me know. If you don't, it's fine. But yeah, they're really good and they've done this and this for... Yeah. So this kind of like book that you build up of all these contacts. But that's what I didn't realise these sales guys were doing. They were just staying present
and relevant. Right,
yeah.
That's it. I had a really interesting chat with, I won't name him because he doesn't like the limelight, but 100 headcount business, part of like a few different recruitment communities, come along to the curry club. We're several beers in, and he sort of like starts laughing and stuff, and he was just like, You're like, oh, everyone's always trying to sell me something. I was like, of course, you're everyone's ICP, mate. You've got 100 user bit. You're a 100 headcount business, 100 seats, right? Every CRM company in the world is going to want to sell you something. Every VoIP telephony business is going to want to sell you something. You know, L&Ds, all the rest of it. Everyone's going to want to sell you something, right? You're an ICP. You're an owner-managed business without an investor. Like, fucking hell. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's just really annoying because like everywhere I go, people try and sell me something. I can't have like an honest chat with anyone because they're always just trying to fucking like pitch to me. And I was like, it's really funny, isn't it? Because there's things that people could have done for you that would have won favours with you. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you put out not long ago that your son was looking for an apprenticeship. I can't believe there's not a single person in the recruitment supply chain that knows someone who might know somebody at PwC, EY, Deloitte or KPMG and could have gone, hey, I know somebody there, let me put you in touch with them.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's
that emotional bank account's getting like poured into.
And he laughed and he was like, do you know, if somebody would have done that for me, I'd have at least given them a meeting and heard them out. And I was like, I know you would have, because that's how people do business. Yeah. You know, you pay in, then you can withdraw.
Yeah. But
hey ho, there you go, mate. This is always a pleasure. You're more than just an email geeky guy, aren't you?
So I've always said I'm like a strong hobbyist marketeer is my favourite phrase. I love marketing, love branding. Started off life in graphic design, failed miserably, but I've always had this kind of passion in me.
I say, and I maintain this, some of the best people in marketing are not marketeers. I don't class myself as a marketeer, and I like to think I'm pretty good at it, right?
75,000 subscribers.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because you come at it from a different angle. Because we're not coming at it from the textbooks of, you know, the 4 Ps and this and digital marketing, and we come at it from the what do people like?
Yeah, I think I suppose one thing to round off with, like, you know, when you've got your messaging right to your target audience. So recruiters, you're sending emails out. Yes, if you get responses, you know it's working, but you can't beat practicing some of that in front of people at an actual event with your target industry, and you see that little spark in someone's eyes when you talk about a problem or you frame a problem. They're like, oh yeah, that's exactly it. Gold. Like, why aren't I recording this?
Yeah.
Right.
Got ya.
That if that's resonate with that one person, how do I turn that message into a bigger message that really attracts people to want to come to work to me? I think that the gold here is, as a recruitment agency, if you can get inbound leads and they start to outweigh your outbound activity, right, you have nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
There are businesses, that is not a fallacy either. Yeah. There are businesses that I'm working with, I'm mentoring, doing some like cool stuff on the side with, who are exactly in that position.
Yeah.
You know, they would put on events, 150 TA and HR personnel, put on the event, little meet and greet afterwards, networking, few pictures, blah, blah, blah. 15 jobs bought on, 6 of which are retained, 3 of which are, you know, exclusive with you guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, and all from what? Yeah. All from what? Just doing some cool shit all day. That's a lot better than making cold calls, man.
And that feels scary for some people, right?
I get it.
But start heading in that direction. You might think to yourself, we've got the budget for that when we're 20, 30, 40 heads, whatever it's going to be. Okay, so what does that budget look like now?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get here.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. Yeah, but you can do a webinar. You can do a more intimate one. You don't have to even put food and drink on. You know, you could arrange a chat around a round table in your co-working space.
Yeah, the favourite hack. So the up and coming tech companies, when the big, like InfoSec, right, one of the biggest information security outside of Vegas, like biggest one in the world. And people spend millions of pounds on stands and entertainment, all these other bits, and then you get the little upstarts that don't have those big marketing budgets. All they do is they go and hire a bar right next to it, haven't got a stand, hire a bar, and they've invited a load of people they know are coming to come to their event, and then they get other suppliers coming because they've had enough. They just want to come and have a beer, so they'll probably share a lot of secrets anyway. But then you get all their clients coming as well, and that's it, right? You've got these people, and you're in front of them. And people are relaxed, and you can ask them those questions. You can learn about the industry. That's not a bit. It's a 30 buckets of beer or whatever it is. And the grand scheme of marketing budget, it's not a lot. No. And it's just time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. I will honestly appreciate this. It's been really good, guys. Thank you. That's all from us. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and doing all the cool shit that you guys do that allows me to continue calling this my job. New episodes drop every Wednesday and every Friday. We'll see you again next time. Thank you.